Taking notice is really important for our mental well-being, and a really good introduction for this is actually using touch as a sense. One of the activities that I want to show you today is using touch. So all you need is a pen or a pencil and some paper. Find a nice place to sit where you feel nice and peaceful and where you won't be disturbed for a couple of minutes. And what we're going to do, we're going to try and draw a picture of our face with our eyes closed and using our other hand to trace our face. So get your pen, put it at the top of the page, put your finger at the top of your head, and then close your eyes and gently start to trace your face. And as you trace your face, use your other hand to try and draw it. And really concentrate on how that feels. Don't worry too much about what it's going to look like. You're just focusing on how it feels. Just carry on tracing your face, trying to pick up on all your features, like your ears, and then you want to trace your eyebrows, trace your eyes, so how your eyes feel. Forget to trace your nose all the time, just concentrating on how that feels. Your thoughts might wander off, but just bring them back to focusing on how it feels. Okay, so that's just a short introduction to some mindfulness that you can do involving touch. Don't worry about what it looks like, but we would love to see some of your traces. You can share them on our social media channels, and I'll show you a picture of this in a minute. Another really good way of using touch is tracing your fingers. If you're feeling anxious for any reason, this can really help anchor you in the moment. I will often use it before I go into an interview, and it's just simply tracing your hand and just taking time to concentrate on how that feels. Try not to focus on anything else, just on how that feels. And that's a really good way of taking notice into your everyday life. Another way you can take notice is through some more formal mindfulness or body scans. So I'm going to take you through a quick body scan where we check in with our bodies and see how we're feeling. Now, not everybody may be comfortable doing this. You can give it a go. If you don't feel like doing it, don't worry. There are other ways you can bring mindfulness and taking notice into your daily lives, such as the other activities that we've done today. You can do this standing up, but I prefer to find a nice place to sit and get myself nice and comfortable. You can close your eyes or focus off into the distance and just have a soft gaze. It's entirely up to you. Some people don't like having their eyes closed. Whatever works for you. That's the most important thing with mindfulness, is finding what works for you. So I've got myself nice and comfortable. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to start taking notice of my body. So we're going to start with our feet. How do our feet feel? Can you feel them pressing into the ground? that ground will always be there to support you. How do your feet feel in your shoes? Are they in the shoes or are you barefoot? Just think about how your feet are feeling today. And then we're going to move up through our ankles to our legs. How are our legs feeling today? Move up to our knees. How are our knees feeling today? It's okay if you feel an ache for any reason. Just acknowledge it and then move on. So how are your thighs feeling today? Maybe you've been doing some walking, some exercising, so they feel a little tight. It's okay if they do. Just going to take notice of that, acknowledge that feeling, and move on. So how does our bum feel? If you're sitting down, can you feel what you're sitting down on? Does it feel sturdy? Do you feel supported? It's okay if you feel a little uncomfortable. We're just going to acknowledge that feeling and move on. How's your back feeling today? Might have a bit of backache from sitting at the desk. Might feel okay. It's okay. Any feeling of tightness or aches, we're just going to acknowledge and then move on. So moving around to our stomach. How does your stomach feel today? Maybe you're hungry because you haven't had any food yet. Maybe you're not hungry because you've just had food. It's okay. Just going to acknowledge whatever feeling that we've got and then move on. We're going to our chest now. And we're going to pause here and take a couple of breaths. We're going to breathe in and out. And as we do, we're going to take notice of what that action does. As our chest lifts up when we breathe in and relaxes a little when we breathe out. Have another breath in and out. And then we're going to move up to our shoulders. How do your shoulders feel today? Feeling okay? If there's an ache or a tightness, again, we're just going to acknowledge it and then move on down our arms. How do our arms and our elbows feel today? Then moving down our arms to our wrists and our hands. How are they feeling today? Are your hands resting on something? Can you feel that? If you're sat outside, can you feel the wind whistling past you? Can you feel the sun on your skin? Just going to take notice of what we feel. And then we're going to move on back up our arms and our shoulders to our neck. How's our neck feeling today? Feel a bit tight? Can you feel the weight of your head on your neck? It's okay if you do. We're going to move on to our head now. See how our head feels. And then we're going to think about what we can smell. Take a big breath in and focus on what you can smell. Can you smell flowers? Maybe you can smell some cooking. Anything that's going on in your environment. Just focus on what you can smell. And then we're going to breathe in through our mouth. Can you taste anything? Maybe you've been eating. Maybe you've been drinking. And you can still taste some remnants of tea, or coffee, or your breakfast, or your lunch. It's okay. I'm just going to take notice of it. And then we're going to move to our ears. And now we're going to take a minute to see what we can hear. Just focus on, with our eyes closed or a soft gaze, on what we can hear. Now we're going to focus on the back of our head, and we're going to imagine that there's a string pulling us up nice and straight, and then we're going to finish on a couple of deep breaths. So we're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. And now you might want to slowly bring some movement back into your body. Wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And then when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. So that, guys, is a quick body scan, just checking in with our bodies and seeing how we feel. This is a really good thing to do. Just check in with your bodies, see how they feel and take notice. So I do hope that you've enjoyed that body scan.